Welcome to the Roll Up Network. I'm your host, Tommy Guns, and today we're going to be talking about the SBA, perspectives and techniques. Give a little more detail into the stride itself, stride positions, the coin toss. We're going to end with just a little cherry on top to give everybody a little more perspective on, what can happen. Let's get it. In this segment, we're going to just talk about the stride variations. In a previous video, check out rules and regulations, because we gave details on the traditional stride, and now we're just going to give a little more details into the other different strides you can land. Also tricks. Okay, let's just get into it. All right, there are many different ways to land a stride in the battle. Okay, we already talked about traditional. Traditional is four wheels in the front, on your toes in the back, 2 wheels in the back. Flat-footed in the front, 4 wheels, on your toes, 2 wheels in the back. Okay. Now you can also do what's called a heely. A heely is going to be 4 wheels in the back, flat-footed in the back, and being on your heels, 2 wheels in the front, flat wheel in the back, 2 wheels in the front. This is one of my this is something that I do a lot. I feel like it can give advantages in its own way, but we'll save all of that. This is just one of the variations that you can do. Another variation as well is what I call the inverted. Inverted is, okay, if traditional is 4 wheels in the front, 2 in the back on your toes, inverted would be 2 wheels in the front on your toes and 4 wheels in the back. So it's the opposite. Now, stride variations, if you notice, all of these are on 6 wheels. So that's mainly what judges are going to be looking for. But let me just pinpoint this real quick as far as this inverted, because if you do an inverted and it looks any way close to like you doubled, the judges can ding you for a double, no matter what was going on in your head. I'm always going to say, make sure anything you do is clean and clear and understandable, because anything less, it can get dinged for something, whether that be a travel or a double. Okay, so those are just the stride variations. Okay, now let's get into tricks. Now, tricks, just to give a quick rule about tricks, tricks can only be performed for one count of the stride. So all that means is one stride. So let's use the spin for an example. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't do it for the 1 and the 3 count. So you can't go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be a travel. Okay. But what you can do is a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So you're not doing it for the whole duration of the counts, for both counts. You can only do it for one count. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now this goes for any tricks, and we welcome all tricks, but let's just say, I'll put it to you like this. If there's something that you're going to be doing that is unique, that no one has ever seen before, you might have to run that by either me. Going to have to run that by me, but that doesn't mean that it's not acceptable. Great example of somebody that does a lot of tricks is slide. Slide's tricks are acceptable only if they made sure that he lands on the right count. As long as they land on the right count, he's fine. Okay, that goes for doing the splits. That goes for skating on one skate. The only thing that we're looking for mainly is making sure, as far as landing strides go, that you're not sprawling. So don't sprawl, and you can only do one trick for one count. All right. The point man. Let's give some objective and strategy to the point man. All right. Point man is the first strider that the judges focus on. If the point man gets a deduction on a stride count, the feature generally won't receive a deduction on the same count. So what does that mean? That means that the point man commands the battle. So if the point man doubles, then I'm not going to count. Obviously, you don't count that double on the feature. Now, let's just say if the point man sprawls. Now, this sprawl kind of, it was done in a way that it made the feature foul. I won't count the foul against the feature because the point man had to sprawl to make him foul him. I hope that makes sense. Best example I can give you is in basketball. If I if somebody has the ball and I'm sticking defense on them and I push them out of bounds, the ref is not going to call out of bounds on them. They're going to call the foul on me, regardless of the deduction. So, and what I'm saying is the point man initiates any of these deductions. So, as long we have to make sure the point man's not at fault before we say the feature did anything. Okay, so point man. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. The point man's objective, he should have a flawless performance that exposes the feature's flaws. He should have a flawless performance that exposes the feature's flaws. Exposes in the form of deductions, okay? Some people look sloppy, but we're basing all of this on deductions. So the best strategy I can say for any point man that they should have is they should have a route. Now, what is a route? Route is a routine you perform for 45 seconds. So you should have a routine that you can that only you know that you can perform for 45 seconds. You practice this routine, you master this routine, and nobody should be able to do this routine like you do it. It's really that simple. So the feature should have a hard time doing something that you have perfected. Flawless performance that exposes your feature's flaws. Study your opponent for what you should put in your routine, in your route. I mean, if you have a generally faster strider, maybe you want to have some slower moments in your routine. If you have a slower strider, maybe you might want to have some faster stuff in your routine. It's going to expose them if you practice it, your routine. So this is the best advice I can give you without giving any details. You dig? That's the point, man. The feature. Um, features a feature is the defense position. Let's get it. The features deductions depend on the point man. Depends on the point man's deductions on the same count. So you already know if the point man doubles, the double is not going to get dinged on the feature. So already gave examples of that. If the point man travels and you foul him, it's not going to count against the feature. He had to travel. He had to do some weird shit for that to happen. So that's generally it as far as that goes. Otherwise, deductions that apply to the feature will be counted. So if the point man has a perfect round, all eyes is on the feature. All eyes is going to be looking at you to see all the mess ups you made. It's that simple. So as far as your objective, the objective of the feature should be to control distance and maintain stride for 45 seconds. It's really that simple. If you control distance the whole time, you will not either foul or get broke. If you maintain your stride, you will not travel, double, any of the other ones. KD. So it's that simple on paper. And that is your objective. Depending on who that is, it might be hard for you. So the strategy that you should be implementing all the time, follow as many people as you can. Your opponent, if possible. You should be on on any given night, following as many people as you can, learning to maintain your stride and control your distance. That's what a good feature does. It's that simple. This is not only a sport, but that's the narrative. That's the narrative out there anywhere. At a national party, you better make sure that you control distance and maintain your stride. That's how you make the point man look good on that sense of things. So, other than that, learn as many different ways to stride as you can. Now, what does that mean? That means 9 times out of 10, especially with like newbies, you're probably only striding one way. And there are a million ways to stride. There are a million ways to stride. It depends on how you use your hips, how you use your legs, how you use your calves, how you use your core, everything. Your arms are even the plane for the balance. So everything creates all of the variations in the ways that you can stride. To do a turning stride, if your opponent stops and you can't hit the stop like him, you're probably going to need to be able to hit a turning stride to get out, not only get out of his way, but put yourself in a position for the next stride. This is a variation, and you only have to do that once, but you have to know to bring that out. It's like karate. There's no, like I said, there's no thinking really when these things happen. You have to embody them. If you don't know karate, by the time the big guy steps up to you, it's already too late. There's nothing to think about. Your instincts are the only thing that are going to kick in, and that's fight or flight. In this case, it's going to be in the form of a deduction if you do not know which stride to whip out when you need to pull it out. Learn as many different ways to stride as you can. Maintain control distance, and maintain your stride. Follow as many people as possible. That's what makes a good feature. All right. The coin toss. The strategy starts at the coin toss. Whoever starts as the point man controls the pace of the rounds. So if you don't set the tone at the beginning of the round, your opponent can take advantage at the end of the round. So best example I can give you is if you try to fill out your opponent too much in the first round, and obviously it's going to leave you with a at the top of the round, you're going to be clean. And so is your opponent because you didn't do enough. So if there's no pressure applied to your opponent and he has a flawless round just like you do, by the time he's the point man, he's only going to need to score 1 point for you to lose that round. Just 1 point. So he makes you sprawl one time, you lost. It's that quick because he put just enough pressure on you. So you have to be aware as the point man, if you're starting off as the point man, because if you don't put the pressure on, it can count against you. Now, on the other side of that, if you set the tone at the top of the round, all pressure will be on your opponent at the bottom. Best example I can give you. You KD somebody first round, you the point man. On the other side of that round, he has to KD you. He has to do something crazy. And this is where the mental game kind of kicks in. If you're not focused and confident enough in whatever you planned on performing that round, it's going to eat you up that he KD'd you. You might just be like, I already lost. All of that. All because the pressure is on. Pressure bursts pipes. Pressure is what makes you second guess yourself. So, or the pressures might be what makes you exceed and perform even better. So, all based on the position, all based on how you started the round. Were you the point man first? Were you the feature? Coin toss is very important. Very important. Are you ready to battle? Are you prepared to win? Are you ready to battle? Have you prepared to win? We are all ready to battle because we're striders. That's what makes us ready. Anybody that doesn't stride is not even ready to battle. They're going to have to even prepare themselves for a battle just to get in the ring. But you have to prepare for the win. Just because you know how to stride does not mean that you are going to win a battle. Just because you're more known than somebody does not mean you're going to win a battle. Because you're faster than somebody, because you know more tricks than somebody. There is nothing that will guarantee your win more than preparation. I don't care who you are. Ask yourself in a battle who you thought was going to win but didn't. And then ask yourself why they didn't win. You can say a bunch of things, but it's going to come down to preparation. Whatever is named could have been worked on prior to the battle, which would have secured the win. Preparation is key. Study the techniques. Study yourself. Study your opponents. I can't say it enough. Preparation is key. By the time you're ready to battle, you need to ask yourself one big question. Did I prepare myself to win? And that's it. This is really all you need. Everything else is really on you. As a battler, you know, if you have any questions, anybody that's watching, the fans, people that are watching, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any concerns, anything. I'm here and my ears is open. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all leaving comments. Keep them coming. Subscribe. Bring more people to this culture, to this black sport, to this culture. This is it's only going to grow. And we welcome all people, all ethnicities. I can't wait for this to get even bigger. You know, this to me is like, it's just like hip hop. Starts here, and then before you know it, it's going to be everywhere. So, details coming soon on the final date. Make sure you roll up.